I don't know. I started recording. All right. So, if anybody can let me open the first of all, there are a whole lot of things to generative AI. Okay. Let me open my. Okay. Now, today you will see some different, basically different PowerPoint presentation, not the one we are using, because this is basically an official presentation by AWS. And I am wearing you see, I'm also AWS community builder. You can see that I'm wearing this hat. So, so I am also the official meetup group of AWS, basically, uh, of Silicon Valley. I'm the official organizer. You can find me here. It's a meetup group directory, and it's a meetup group directory. And if you say Santa Clara, which is a Silicon Valley, basically, it's Silicon Valley Cloud Engineer. This is our meetup group. So people join from here also. Lots of people, because it's a AWS presentation, and this is also going to repeat on Thursday also. So there will be a lot of people who will come from this group, and these are all AWS practitioner basically. Uh, so in order to maintain some kind of official, you know, you know, endorsement by AWS or some kind, because I'm required to do that. I'm required whenever I make a presentation on behalf of my meetup group, it has to be official, So I use official, presentation as supplied by AWS. So we'll be doing that. So today you'll see a different kind of a presentation, template. But so just to give you the idea why it is okay. So that's about it. I'm just closing it now. I don't need it now. So anyway, so we are going to talk about generative AI today. You already did some stuff, and this is from the AWS, and we will be a little brief. We'll go a little fast on this because the main AWS AI and what AWS is doing on generative AI is very important. And I am a community builder, as I said. I'm also a user group, and I know because I'm connected with lots of AWS, kind of a practitioner, a project manager, hiring manager, those kind of people. So if you want to build your career on cloud as well as AWS, you have come to the right place. Actually, AWS is my territory. I mean, I have more experience on AWS on cloud than my entire other experience on AI. So I've been working on AWS, I think, since 2008 or 9. I had my own company. I was hosting all the stuff on AWS. So I have lots of expertise on that. Having said that, so, and also because of my experience, AWS even invited me as a speaker. You can see this. I'm wearing the speaker jacket they gave me. I gave a presentation on in 2001, how to build a AI factory, and it was really, mm, it was watched live by a lot of practitioners there on the floor of AWS reInvent. So, but that little video is there somewhere on our YouTube channel that I'll show you, share with you. You can go and watch. So, uh, I am also looking for building the community for AWS. So if you are a user group member, wherever you are, or if you want to form a user group and get an official recognition from AWS, contact me. I will take you to the right place, and then you can build your own user group. and then we can help you to do that as a AWS community builder. And then eventually, if you have a some kind of a threshold or some members and you organize event, we can even make you the official user group of AWS and official user group of AWS. You can get a lot of stuff free from AWS. Also, when you go to the reinvent, you get like a the ticket will cost you like a 30% of the original cost, something like a $2,000. You know, the conference, ticket will cost you something like a $600. And then they, if you are good, practitioner, and if you're good at that, they might invite you to speak there. So there will be speaking opportunity. Like I had that opportunity. You have to submit all your papers, everything, and they select based on that. And they have conference all over the world. You can go and submit your paper, and and based on your expertise, they really look at you and as an expert. And if they think you are an expert, you can really can really make a good presentation at one of their conferences. They'll invite you, and they'll pay you all the expenses, all expenses paid, flight ticket, hotel ticket, like that. And they have Reinvent is the largest conference, but they have conference all over the world. Almost every month they have something going on in Australia, or Europe, or Asia, India, everywhere. So it's a huge network. You can network with hiring manager. They look for good people. So as a community builder, as I said, I'm wearing this hat now. So I'm supposed to give you this talk before I begin, because it's an official AWS presentation. And so I'm just giving you that, and then we'll go to the AWS console, and we'll show you. uh, I had a session on cloud computing, and I went to the console. I showed you stuff, and if you have missed it, if you don't know anything about cloud computing, if it is brand new for you, then watch this, and then probably by Thursday we'll have some of the videos ready, and there you can go and watch my cloud computing session. And then Thursday we're going to repeat it again for the local AWS community. Thursday evening 6:30, which will be I think in India 7:30 or something. To check the time, local time there in the evening, in the Friday morning. So that and can come and watch it again. I can tell you why cloud computing and AI go hand in hand. The reason the cloud computing and AI, and I already gave a presentation about that, but let me recap what I said. Uh, because AWS is the market leader of cloud computing. There are other two big players like Microsoft and Google. And somebody told me that he has done some Google engineering and Google Cloud engineering, some kind of a basic course, very good at that. So AWS has more market share in the cloud computing market than Microsoft and Google combined. So basically, they have a more than 40% and growing. That's what that doesn't mean it will stop you to trying other cloud, uh, you know basically other cloud service provider like Google or Microsoft. Lot of people try everything. Like I'm also a Google certified cloud engineer, because that's also another area. So a lot of large companies, they have a hybrid model, so they just don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. So they have a AWS, and they have a Google Cloud, and they have the Microsoft Azure. So all those large companies, probably they try all the three, and they have their own data center, and they connect with their own data center, three different cloud. If it is a large Fortune 500 company, sometimes they do that. So hybrid model is a very common. So one cloud knowledge will give you really the solid foundation to try other cloud also. So if you learn AWS inside out, and also it's easy to learn other. It's similar, but the concept is similar, but the way they do is little difference, whole lot of difference. So probably you have to learn a lot from there. But it makes sense. So having said that, now why cloud is very important for AI? Without cloud, I don't think it will be nowadays. It will be very difficult to really run some AI models and put it on a production kind of a stuff. I'll tell you what is production, how it is done, and you'll know it when I end up the presentation. One of the main reason is that AI requires a huge amount of computing power. Huge means huge amount of computing power and huge amount of storage. You just need those. And if you attended my cloud computing session, as I said, like cloud computing provides literally unlimited computing power, unlimited storage, because it's a plug and play kind of stuff. You can rent, it's cloud is nothing but renting. You're just renting server. Okay, you can rent as many server as you want, as much storage as you want, and then you can integrate everything, and becomes a huge computing power it can give you. So that kind of thing, and when you don't need it, that's the flexibility. That's what it's called elasticity. They use the word. Amazon server is called elastic computing cloud, because what happened is EC2 are called EC2. What is happening is all the server. So there's elasticity. Like you need two, three, four, five server. You can just keep on adding it. You can add like a 100 server. You can add different category of CPU, very basic to very high end. I'll show you when I go to the AWS console, and then you can literally do anything. And then when your need is over, you can scale it down. So that's why it's like elastic. You can use that like a elastic. You stretch it as much as you want, and then you shrink it as when you don't need it. And that's what the EC2 calls, elastic computing cloud. This is the name of that server. And so this is the main 2 points. You need a huge amount of computing power, and you need huge amount of storage, and that's why the cloud is the right fit. And the second thing is it's plug and play. You just rent it. You just don't need to suppose. But says if you want to really set up a server at your data center, it will take months. You have to have a separate floor if you're doing the large scale production, like suppose you are a bank or airlines running a lot of machine learning stuff. You need a lot of high-end servers, set up all the data center, cable, physical infrastructure. It might take 6 months to 1 year, 2 years, God knows how it. But with cloud, you just can set it up within few minutes. If it is not minutes, at least few hours or few days, but just several months. You just plug it in, go into the server, plug it in, and that's about it. So that's the flexibility. So cloud and AI, they should go together. They always go parallelly, and they should go together. Without cloud, AI, you can do it. It's not like you cannot do it, but it would be very, very expensive, time consuming, like a military installation, Pentagon project, and some government of India project, some defense stuff. You don't do the cloud, don't use the cloud, because there's a lot of other things involved there, your secrecy and other stuff. So you just do not plug it in with the cloud, which is like a public. But in US, there's something called government cloud. The government cloud is all the cloud computing power only meant for government. It's like a parallel another setup infrastructure. Uh, so far, I know, I'm not very sure how much it is, but now I think 2 3 years ago I read somewhere that more than 25% of the U.S. government non confidential and some kind of a public data which is not a very very confidential. If it is loses, that's fine. There's no secrecy, not whole lot of secrecy involved. Like a contracting procedure, general, supplier, kind of a contract, those kind of a things, public knowledge are everywhere. So those kind of a data, but those are all huge data and lots of computing power. Those are all now reside in government cloud. The government cloud is very very isolated. You have to be a government department, then only you can get into the government cloud. In US it has, I don't know if it is in India there, If it is not there, contact me, and then we can talk to some investor. We can build our own government cloud over there, and the Indian government may really, it could be several billion-dollar project. If somebody is interested, I'll be also interested. But I think that is something like that. I don't know. But Amazon has its own government cloud, and then also Microsoft and Google. I think Google, for some reason, they didn't participate. I don't know what the current status now. So all those government cloud. So you have to be a government department. Doesn't mean to federal government. It could be like some kind of state government, even the local municipal government. They can get in the government cloud, and they can do all their whatever they are doing at their data center. They can do on the cloud. There's a city called Oakland, and 3 or 4 years ago I was called there to the Oakland city. Oakland is a very large port here in Westport. I think after Seattle, and then another, I think LA, Oakland is the third largest port. So a lot of ships come there. So they have the Oakland city has a lot of data, port data, this data. So they used to run their own data center, and they wanted to phase out and take it to the government cloud. So I was called there as a consulting. I was wanted to, they wanted my expertise to build everything, move everything. It's called, migrate everything to the government cloud. But there was Accenture involved. So, and a small company, in front of Accenture. So they get the contract to the Accenture. So I lost a bit. But anyway, I mean, and that gave me a lot of idea of what they do at the government level. So, and then you have to go through some clearance security here, at least here in the United States. I don't know in other countries. So having said that, even the government cloud nowadays, they're using all the AI model, everything, even on the cloud, because it's very important. So it makes sense also, instead of running a data center, you just rent it, like instead of buying here in US, you can rent a luxury car basically. You have your own car, but you can rent any luxury car. You don't have to buy expensive like a Tesla or anything. If you want to really go and go somewhere, and you really want to have a Tesla, you want to drive, or very luxury car, you can rent it here in there are places. Or also, if you want to go to, even it started in other countries also, but in US it's been there. I don't know, ever since I came here more than 30 years ago, it's been there. So suppose from here I go to New York and I need a car. From the airport I rent a car, I drive and go all over the city, whatever I do, stay there with the car, stays with me for 3, 4, 5 days. And while coming back, just, return it to the airport, take the flight and come back. Very flexible. So it's a renting model basically, very flexible. I don't need to buy a car in New York for 5 days. I just rent it, return it when my need is over. Similarly, cloud computing is like that. You just rent server as many as you want. If your need is over, okay, that's it. Fine, no problem. Just delete all the server, terminate all the infrastructure you build. AWS will send you some bill, invoice, pay your invoice. Thank you very much. AWS will come again. That kind of stuff. Or if you want to continue, we can continue. Okay, but that doesn't mean cloud is cheaper. Sometimes cloud is more expensive than data center, but usually there's always a cost, and other things trade off. So sometimes it is cheaper, sometimes it is expensive, depends on what kind of a services you really need. And the second thing is very important in cloud computing, at least with AWS, also Google and others, that
हाँ
all.
बोलो क्या हो रहा
Huh? What happened? So let me give you that. Or before we do that, I'm just giving you some head start, and then we are going to go this. So, and before, so all those AWS and Google and what you call Azure, basically they have all the latest machine learning tools, all kinds of machine learning services, and everything's there. And I will show you everything. We'll go to the console. You will be amazed. So a lot of things are there pre-built. You don't have to build anything from scratch. If you have the knowledge, you can just set it up. It literally in minutes, sometimes in minutes, if it is not minutes, in hours or within a day, versus like several months if you do everything from scratch. So cloud computing and AI, like they go hand in hand. So in AI, actually everything reside, all the AI latest happening, whatever everything is happening, reside on cloud. Even you can plug it your open AI and vector database I was talking about. MongoDB is one of the vector database, very, they are the market leader in NoSQL space, and they release a new product in vector database. And AWS has their own product called DynamoDB or NoSQL, but they went and partnered with MongoDB because it makes some kind of a business sense because they are the market leader. So we partnered with MongoDB, and then we are going to have a vector database. So we already have 2 or 3 lecture on vector database. We'll bring some people from MongoDB for that lecture. I'll also teach you. I'm writing my next book on vector database. There's a huge lot of opportunity, and then we'll teach you how to cloud, how to really integrate everything with the AWS cloud, SageMaker, vector database. It's a whole lot of brand new technology. Having said that, I was talking to some small company in India, and let me tell you, all those people, I don't know how many people are from companies and small companies. Okay, don't bullshit. I'm sorry to use this word. If you have worked on AWS, say it. I have worked, these are our experience, these are our case studies. I just go there, he said AWS, and then I asked them, okay, what is the server he used? The guy doesn't even know what is EC2 server. That's BS. Okay, we are in a serious business. We are building an ecosystem. There will be a whole lot of opportunities for everybody. So if there are companies, we'll give you project as much as you need because we are going to build that ecosystem. So many things happen. But if you don't have expertise, if you don't have any case studies to prove, and you're saying, oh, we have done that, that that kind of a lie, and at least in US, even in India, everywhere, don't lie at the professional level. Don't never lie. That will really backfire. Say we don't need it. I mean, we don't know this. We need to upgrade our knowledge skill. Please help us. We are building that ecosystem. We'll help you. We'll help you because we are going to recruit a lot of vendors in that process. Indian engineers with our brothers is a part of the whole ecosystem. There will be companies, there will be vendors, there will be academic people, there will be training companies. So all kinds of people will join and they will network with each other. Everybody wins. But in that process, in that kind of a network, don't lie. I don't like people lie, whether it's a company or whether it's an individual. This, I mean, you're not going to gain anything. I see cooked resume all the time. And when I ask one question, the guy cannot even answer. Why you lie? You're going to fail anyway. Say it. Whatever you know, this is I know. I am willing to learn. I have some other skill. Present it. There's a beautiful interview mock-up by Bill Gates. You know that Bill Gates was giving a technical interview. He's a technical guy, but he was giving a sales interview. And the manager says, you don't have any sales background. You're a technical guy. And then how you presented, go, it's on the LinkedIn. Beautifully he presented. He got his all technical and other knowledge. He said, I can bring all those knowledge into sales and make a contribution. So if you are a sales guy, you want to get into the technical guy. So these are the things, these are the sales knowledge, which is out of the box thinking. I can really bring it to technical. Please allow me to, give me an opportunity. I learn in that process, negotiate a better deal, probably an entry level deal, do that. But if you have not done something and if you lie on the resume, it looks so bad. Even on the LinkedIn, I said that people just put so many things. This is I really wanted to tell you this because we really want you to build your career. We want you to build your startup. We want you to build your business. Lying is not in a professional this thing. You can twist a little bit of fact. That's okay. But complete lying is I don't know. Probably you go and live with this a place called West Bengal. You know what's going on. They're the people that run entire government would just put lies, and you know what's going on. I don't want to make any political statement, but people who are from India know, they know that. You know, politicians lie all the time. Okay, okay. But you're not politician, you are going to be AI practitioner. Don't lie. And AI is such a complex and new subject. Say it if you don't know it. And we are here to help you, to make you learn. And that's what we are. That's what we started. But starting everything from lie is not going to help. I'm sorry to say this, but I get this kind of every day people, I know this, I know this. When I ask one simple question, the guy goes blank. So, and then it really frustrated me. I'm sorry, because I really wanted to give you the right advice. This is my right advice. All right. So let's move on. Let's start here. So if you say this is AI. So AI can make images, and this is something called stable diffusion. Okay, I'll going to know. I'll tell you what is stable diffusion. But basically, it's a generative AI. So AI can generate images. AI can, you already done prompt engineering. It can do a lot of stuff with a large language model. So this is AI, and then so now what is generative AI? Generative AI is a branch of AI that focuses on creating new data. It is a subset of machine learning. The goal of the generative AI is to create new data that is similar to the data that was used to train the model. So generative AI is it generate new data. So when you and this is in my deep learning class. I mean, we have, I think, on the 14th week, I'll tell you what is the transformer model. You can see the recurrent convolutional neural network, and then RNN, recurrent neural network, and there's something called transformer model. All those technical stuff you might get some of the stuff I'll talk about transformer model, but don't get into all the technical. Just think, this is what it is. And in my deep learning class, we'll do hands-on stuff, then it will really make sense. And that's the reason we created like a 15 weeks long, so that it give you all the complete picture of AI, what's going on, cloud computing, vector database, all kinds of stuff. Make sense? Okay. So let's go there. So road to generative AI. So what are this we are going to do? Language model, text to image model, prompt engineering. You have already, had a test of it. You already did both prompt engineering for non-technical people, prompt engineering for technical people. So you know that it's somebody. I was so glad that somebody from Canada says he already went to the GitHub, started working on it. Very good. You'll be my first candidate for the hackathon, and probably you might be with us in the near future in the Silicon Valley to work with us. There's a whole lot of requirement will be coming. It's coming every day. So just need to fill those vacancies. So very good. Keep on doing it. I'm really encouraged by at least one person is really getting into it. I'm sure some others are also. So so basically there's something called word embedding. I already talked about vector embedding, word to vector. So you really this is a statistical model, word to vector. You find a similar things. Let me tell you this. So you see this dog, cat, so and then car, bus, and you can see this. So they all categories like car is to vehicle, is to bus, is to driver, is traffic, and then drive. And then there's another quadrant is a walk, person, animal, dog. So these are the common characteristics. Cat walks, dog walks, a person walks, an animal walks. Okay, and drive, who drive? Drive means, it could be traffic, it could be vehicle, it could be a car is driving, a bus is driving, and there's T. So this is, and then you relate all those coordinates. It's called word to vector kind of a thing. So this is a word to vector as you see this, and then what to. So when you embedded a large language model in my the next week, I have a LangChain class, very important. Come there, and I'll tell you how to use that Chat GPT prompt engineering with another beautiful tool called LangChain. It's very important, interesting. Next week, don't miss that, and then you'll see it. And then we'll also talk about embedding. What is that? So for the time being, there's something called word embedding. So basically, all the words you convert into zero and one. Okay, and then use some mathematical and statistical model. And if you have done a k nearest neighbor, those kind of a things in statistics, it's all statistics. I don't want to talk about statistics today. And then you can really have some kind of a word to vector. So every word connect with another word with some kind of a vector statistic, and that's what called word to vector. If you have from science backgrounds, you know what is scalar, what is vector. Okay, so so then it gives the birth of large language model. So what the large language model does, it does text summarization, or already did it, question answering, sentiment analysis, speech language understanding. It does more than that. So if we see this a sentence, a word prediction sample, so, what you will say, we are human, that a quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. That is, everybody knows this sentence. But your computer, your AI model doesn't know. So it basically, AI model thinks a fox, and it just feels that it doesn't know what was previous, what was this thing. So it could be rabbit, it could be dog. And then this is a paper, and they also talk about it. I wanted to talk to this about this paper called attention, what you need. This is a uh, very important paper, and it changed everything basically. So I will upload this paper somewhere on this thing. Let me see where is the paper. Where's the paper? Come on, man. I'm always challenged uh, with this finding my own stuff. Why I am so? I always have a problem with finding my own stuff. AWS, generative AI. Yeah, I think I stored it here. Okay, so come on. Okay, so this is attention all you need. This is a very good research paper. See, I always, refer the research paper. I'm so glad. Even this is the official presentation on AWS. They are also talking about this research paper. Very good, I mean, at least kind of, my style of thinking. I want to learn something. I want to see the foundation from where it came. So there is always a research paper for any kind of a scientific concept. There's always a research paper. You have to just go to archive, that archive, we spell like a, then weird way spell. And then there's also ResearchGate and many places, Google Scholar, you find all the research paper, even the Nobel laureates and all the research paper. So it's always, so if you read the research paper, and if you understand, fine. Even if you don't understand, even if you understand even 5% of it is very important. That and then the foundation where it came from. So this is attention. All you need is a research paper. So I'll upload it on GitHub. We have to organize everything. Bear with us for about a week or so, and every lesson will be there, and all the research paper related to this lesson will be uploaded there, so you'll not miss anything. Whatever I discuss about all the research paper in my presentation, it's always with me in my this thing, local machine. I'll just and all my book related research paper is already there on Chat GPT. Okay, so there's something called transformer model. So transformer model is basically uh, uh, it's a attention enable model to scale understand relationship between words. So as I said, we'll talk about transformer model when you are talk about recurring neural network. And first you need to understand what is convolutional neural network. First you have to understand what is neural network, then convolutional neural network, then recurring neural network. These are all three at once. The first basic thing, even to make you understand the neural network, it will take me like a more than a day. And to do it practically now, I have to figure it out how I can squeeze everything in 2 hours and probably a little bit more. So this is my challenge always. So much such a hard concept, grueling concept, and all you only end up having a 2 hours, because we decided we wanted to have a 4 hour session. Then we decided no, people won't be interested, people drop out. So let's have a bite-sized kind of a lessons, and then we'll elaborate in because this is we just started just to create the momentum, but nothing will stop. So you'll get a bite-sized lesson every time, and then we will elaborate on that particular lesson in later time, in coming months, and then we'll have a very detailed stuff, detailed presentation, detailed training. Sometimes it will be free. Sometimes it may not be free because probably we'll have to engage with some training company, or even if we have some other training, we do a lot of other stuff also. So, but mostly we'll try to bring it free, but sometimes there could be some cost involved. If somebody wants to get some specialized training, we haven't figured that out, but there could be a possibility. Just wanted to let you know. So attention level model. So this is a transfer model, and this transformer model really does everything. So whatever I say, attention, all you need. That research paper is based on this transformer model. It just changed everything, revolutionized. In 2017, the paper got published, and this is 2024. It's less than 5 years basically. Just got started. You see what happened to generative AI is going to create $15.7 trillion market by 2030. Okay. So you see one paper created over $15 trillion market opportunity. What is the GDP of US? $20 trillion, right? $22 trillion. So more than two-thirds of the GDP of US. What is the GDP of India? I guess $4 trillion or something. More than 3.5 times of GDP of country like India, one little research paper is created that kind of a market opportunity. Can you believe it? That's what happened. That is engineering, that is AI, that is science. See what really happened. And I really encourage you to go and read that paper. But for that, I'll have to prepare you for that. You just kind of read it just like that. All the transformer models, this, that. But you'll get this paper. You can even download. Attention, all you need. If you go to that archive.org, and then you can download from there, or Google it, you can download it. You don't need to do the search. I've already had it. I'll give it to you. So you see this quick box form. This is all the what to make vector. I don't want to waste more time on this. And then, so as I said, this is the English language program. A lot of things are happening. A lot of contents are happening. Let's not waste time, because I really want to get you to the hands-on stuff where you really learn a lot of stuff. So I'm not wasting. So there is first. This is called Bard bidirectional something. I forgot the full name of BART. Recurrent transfer. I forgot the full name. So this is the earlier model of large language model, and then GPT came with parameter count. So all the token, you see this, so it expanded. So when the BART came with only 45 million words or token, characters, it could only do or do certain things. So it was very little. Then the GPT-2 came, 1.5 billion, expanded to the 1.5 billion kind of a token. So it's really expanded. You can do a whole lot of large language model stuff. And then GPT-3, 175 billion. And the Bloom, now GPT-4 is then 176 billion. This is another model called Bloom. And so basically these are the parameter count. So this, and then the GPT-4, I don't know. This is little, they didn't say, because this is I think last year GPT-4 came a few months ago. Okay, they didn't mention here. That's okay. So where we are heading basically. So there is something called large language model. Amazon has its own, just like a chat GPT. It's called Code Whisper. And you can do this. This is a .py is the Python this thing program. When you see the .py, it's a Python programming extensor, and then it's created a model, and then you on the Whisper, you can do all those things. I'm not going to talk about Whisper now. So now we are talking about SageMaker, and I will give you. Okay, let me go to the console. Just a minute. I'll show you. It is better. AWS. Okay, cool. I already have some stuff. So Amazon SageMaker is the machine learning platform basically, and you can do whole lot of things. It's like SageMaker is really, we'll come and demo all those things. But before we do that, and there is another research paper here, not research paper. This is a white paper, and I will encourage. I will also upload it on the mm, Discord server. You can also download it if you don't want to wait. And so I encourage you to read this. This is a AWS Cloud Adoption Framework for Artificial Intelligence, Machine Learning, and Generative AI. This is a very, I think I gave a little bit of presentation about this last time. I don't know how much I covered in that, but this is a detail. This is a non-technical stuff. You'll understand. You don't have to. You need to have some cloud knowledge and everything. But this is all the technology transformation. This is a very important informative white paper. I encourage you to read this before you really get started with generative AI, cloud, all kinds of stuff. So this is the AWS white paper. Quite a read. It's about 58 pages and all those things. So I'll encourage to read this. Okay. So this is very important. It talks about SageMaker, everything. It talks about summary. Platform percentage summary. It will talk about how to date data, data security and availability, and why it is do that, government perspective. We'll talk about everything. All this, whatever the written here, pretty much we'll talk about this. And then once you know this, then you go and read this paper and it will make sense. So today I'll cover everything. Most of the stuff here is on this, whatever is on this white paper. Make sense? So now, so we are going to uh, so this is a generative AI. You talk about the SageMaker. So what you do is application, text generation, game design, industrial design, drug design research, image generation. So, and this is a word embedding. We'll also talk about word embedding, how it is done. There's something called, as I said, stable diffusion. ChatGPT has its own mm, uh, uh, image generation tool called DALI, and the stable diffusion is basically a open system. I can, if you want to really install stable diffusion on a server, okay, I can help you do that. You can have your own setup on your stable diffusion. You can also put it on Amazon server. There's a whole lot of way, but I can do it. I can create any kind of an image using. I've done it. I'm on my local machine. I also use DALI. I also use other tool. I have my own tool, which I yesterday I showed you. Like this guy is stable diffusion and everything, and then we can say so this is my incredible AI art, and this is I created with my own tool, just like a stable diffusion. I created my own tool, and if you are interested in future how we can use your own tool, stable diffusion. You see this, I created some abstract art. This is not stable diffusion. This is my own tool. I already have it. I can show it to you how it is done. I create a beautiful nature art, nature, different art of the nature. These are very beautiful. I mean, I didn't really market it properly, but this is like a multi-million dollar business. If I really market it, a lot of people will buy it. I'm so busy and I really put a lot of attention to it. Then the fractal, you can see these fractals, a lot of fractals. And yesterday we talked about fractals, and these are my the fractals are beautiful. All this beautiful picture. I'm not trying to impress you, but impress upon you that this all possible. You can do it your own stuff. You need to, and I would rather, if I were you, I would build my own stuff and then go and learn, and then you really learn fast. I mean, that's the way I learn. If I build my own stable, very small, you see this kind of a text to image generation kind of a thing, and then I really try to learn a stable diffusion. It's easy to me now. I can do a lot of stuff with that. Okay, so image embedding. So so this is a stable diffusion. Basically, how it works is, it gets it goes and it scans all the picture. From that picture it generates a new picture. So a photo of a marigold puppy, you can see this, and then it goes, and then Marigold puppy with a 8-bit art, so it converts into some kind of art. Okay, I'll tell you how it is done. So this is a diffusion model, and then adds noise. And on this diffusion model, so with the convolutional neural network, everything is converted into pixel, and then pixel is converted into number. In that number, it creates some kind of convolutional layer, and there's input layer, output layer, whole lot of things. I don't want to get into all the technical stuff. Basically, all this pixel, this picture is uh, has lots of pixels, and every pixel is like represent some kind of every dot on the screen represent a number, black one, white 255 with a three channel color, red, green, and blue. So you get so many numbers, and you combine it. So you add a little bit noise, so you really distort the picture, but you are learning it. Then okay, then you just keep on doing it, and if the picture is totally blurred, and then you redo it. So when the noise, if noise is there, noise, it means you are just changing it. It's changing little bit of weight in that thing. If you know the deep learning, you'll understand. Now we are just reversing that. When we are reversing it, now we see this. When we are reversing this dog picture is there, but you see this, you are reversing it, and the position of the dog picture change, and then you see this now. You see this here, and in the background also change a little bit, so you can really do a lot of stuff. So this is a stable diffusion example. So you train the model with some, just showing some picture, it gets trained, and then after that model is trained, because it just boils down to numbers basically. Training means it runs the pattern. Yesterday we talked about what is pattern recognition, how it runs the pattern, what is training. When you learns the pattern, then you change the pattern, you change the picture basically. So medical puppy on a space station, now you change the pattern, and then you get this here. Okay, now how to win a tic-tac-toe game theory. There's some game theory, and then all those things. So let's not this thing. Then we talk about prompt engineering. We talk about that. We already covered prompt engineering. You have done a lot of hands-on stuff. But then you said deployment pipeline reference architecture of reference implementation. So with this prompt engineering, new deployment pipeline reference architecture, a blog post of AWS news blog, written an informative style. It written by prompt engineering. You already did that. You did the hands-on. So I'm just skipping. Models will keep getting better and more sophisticated. Many developers will use foundation models and prompt engineering. You know that training cost and sustainability, sorry, come into focus. Algorithm optimization, dedicated hardware design for large language models such as AWS Trainium, reduce cost. So there's a lot of new chips and everything is AWS is inventing. So that's their product basically. So that's they're saying what AWS is doing in this area. And then inference cost and sustainability comes into focus. Now you have the large language model, you have the AI model, but what is the inference? Inference is your endpoint, because the model is running on the server doesn't make any sense unless it's connected to the real-time data or connected to some kind of a data or product data, so that it can give you some right prediction and it can do a lot of other stuff. So that endpoint, the model endpoint is called inference. Now if you are picture this, if you are on Amazon, and if you are mm, predicting some, so everybody use Amazon. So if you go and buy like some kind of a say TV. So whenever you want to buy a TV on Amazon, it will not only that, suppose you are looking for a particular brand of TV, let's say LG, which is also a popular brand. uh, so You try to say LG TV, flat screen, whatever the 58-inch, it only give not only give you that all the different varieties and also price. Also, it give you all the suggested of the other relatively other TV, other brand, probably Philips, probably RCA, probably other Sony, all kinds of different brand, and also their price comparison, everything, and what. So this is all done by AI, because AI understood that you want a TV, and then AI gathers from all the huge millions of database, and then it gives you the right information. So that what Amazon is trying to really sell that TV to you, because that's where the Amazon makes money. So all those on a real time basis is done through AI. But how it can do all those stuff real time basis if your model is sitting there in a server and it's not connected? So in order to connect your model with all the real-time data, you have to have an endpoint. That's called endpoint. If you have done a database or something, you know that you have to build an endpoint to connect with your graphical user interface, and then it talks with your database. Similarly, with model is nothing but it runs lots of data. So all this data needs to be feed into the model. Model will go and train and all those things. So you need to have an endpoint. That endpoint is called inference. Remember this. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you. So, so this is generative AI. It says Amazon generative AI is Amazon Bedrock, Amazon EC2, TRN. These are all like a chips kind of a thing. Amazon EC2 is elastic computing cloud. I'll show you. I already said this. And this TRN, remember this, I'll show you what it is. You can use it. And then Amazon code whisper, there's another, you can write a lot of code with this code whisper, and then you can really create your own generative AI and all those things. We'll talk about it. Then Amazon Bedrock is these are the things, stability AI, Amazon Titan, LNM for conversation, multilingual LNM for text. These are Jurassic. These are all Amazon product. So I'm just going it fast because the generative AI on Amazon, you get the Amazon SageMaker, Studio Lab free. I'll show you Amazon SageMaker, Jumpstart. I'll show you this. We're going to have a demo session, then Amazon SageMaker Foundation model. Okay, and that's about it. That's about the first part of the presentation. I really, but the next presentation is really important. So this is the Amazon presentation basically. So I will stop it here, and this is Amazon SageMaker will come here after the break, and then I'll really, you'll like it. You will see all the hands-on stuff. You can do it with me, but I don't recommend because I'll do really fast, and in 1 hour you cannot do hands-on. I had a hands-on session many months earlier. I have the recording video. I'll give you. In future, we'll have a detailed, basically discussion or this hands-on session on SageMaker, not in this 14, 15 weeks. And as Amazon SageMaker is huge, and if you are hands-on an Amazon SageMaker, I have a job for you. It's as plain simple. People talk, and especially a lot of companies in India, when I ask, there's a company, say, we do machine learning. Where do you do? Amazon. Do you know SageMaker? That guy goes blank. Total BS. Don't do that. I don't know SageMaker. I've never done it. Could you please teach us? Yes, sure. There because you see this. I'm a community builder. I talk with all the experts. I'm an official AWS user group, organizer. I have my own network. I'm part of that whole ecosystem. I can bring the entire Amazon to you if you are willing to learn. But if you lie on the first place, thank you, sir. You'll never get a. Forget about it. I won't even read your email. Forget about calling and everything. Okay. So make sure don't do this. Having said that, I will take a 7 minutes break. How about 7 minute break, guys? Time for a coffee for me now, for everybody. Right? Right, Sachin? Can you guys
Yes,
hear?
Dada.
So we are going to take a 7-minute break, and when I come back, we'll go into the console, we'll do a lot of stuff. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Just give me a second. I'll be back. Let's get started. No, no, no. Good. All right. So let me start with another presentation. Give me a second. Let me open it. Yeah, get started with SageMaker. I have an entire folder on SageMaker, but this is let's get started. I will show you what it is and then we'll go from here. Let me tell you this. This next hour, hold on. Mm, come on, man. Okay. So basically the next hour we are going to, I'll also show you the demo going to the console, but this is the 360-degree view of how to really take AI model machine learning into production. Okay, pay attention to every slide, every concept I'm talking. And if you have this concept, so you'll understand. I'll also talk about there are three types of categories of people: the data analytics, the data scientists, and the machine learning engineers. What are the difference between all these among all these people? So, so this is you really need to understand. Just a minute. So pay attention to that. I'm going to talk about this now. So basically, what happens is if you are a company and then we'll have a digital transformation process in future, I think that after this we have the part two of what is that called master algorithm. We had it yesterday, part one, part two. After part two, there will be 4 weeks, 1 month long, two hours every week, and because that's a very detailed stuff. Digital transformation, how really you want to transform a company from without any AI or anything, without any AI and digitization of a company or digital transformation of a company, that company will not survive. Period. Okay. Even if it is a not so large company, could be a medium company or could be like a small companies also. Even small companies needs to go through a lot of digital transformation. Probably all those they don't have to do like a thing. A lot of things will be available online. Okay, but they will also they'll have to change the way they work. Like I'll tell you a small web design company, 4 people web design company. So what they used to do earlier, that's not going to work because web design itself is influenced by AI. A lot of AI tools are coming, a lot of SEO, search engine optimization, if you're familiar with what is that. Okay, and then a lot of new concept coming, generative AI company. So web design is also needs to evolve in terms of AI, so they need to learn AI, generative AI, how to design using AI. A lot of new tools are coming. So if they don't do it, even that 4 people company, nobody is going to give them any because designing web through WordPress is fine, even that is also going through AI changes. Okay, so well, they won't get any customer anymore because all those their customers, they are also digitizing. They are kind of a business. They want to plug in with the AI tools and all, and the small companies really need to do. I'm just giving you an example. It could be a web design company, or it could be anything. Even if you have a decent like a, I'm not talking about, like India, something that roadside tea stall or street vendors, probably they'll be there. But even if it is a small restaurant or something, a lot of AI tools they need to learn to distinct to serve the customer well. So the digital transformation is must for every company, small, medium, large. I just give you a little bit extreme example that may be true, may not be true. Just give you some idea about it. Okay, so this whole process, Amazon, get started with Amazon SageMaker in minutes. We will talk about this, how it is done. And then with that process, we'll also, Amazon covers the entire pipeline, we call it entire life cycle of digital transformations. We are going to dive into that, okay? So the common use cases. So what are the machine learning use cases? So a lot of people get confused. Is this machine learning and AI same? AI is a part of machine learning. It's a subset of machine learning. Okay. Anything when the machine learns artificially anything, that's machine learning basically. So we covered that yesterday. So predictive manufacturing, automotive, Internet of Things. These are all use cases of machine learning. Retail, consumer, manufacturing. I talked about that. Financial services, retails. You have a credit risk prediction. Lot of prediction in the AI tools and machine learning tools do well than any other calculation. Then healthcare and legal, I already talked about the MedPAM in our second session, first or second session. You know that how the healthcare is changing with the AI, model like MedPAM. I don't want to get into that today. And that's also Google product. Today's AWS presentation. So let's focus on AWS. Then healthcare, pharma, manufacturing, autonomous driving, media and entertainment, retail, and also prediction, all kinds of prediction. We already know that. So now, what are the barriers for machine learning? And then the no code machine learning. You don't know any code, you are like a data analyst or something. Okay, that's a fancy word. I don't like the word data analyst. A lot of pseudo players are there. He is a data analyst. Come on, man, what you do with that? Okay, they don't say that. But there are generally some good data analysis. So that's some kind of a gray area, the definition data analyst. But definitely data analysts are not coders. So what you can do with them? But they want to play with the AI tools. So there's no code. We are going to do that. Purpose built data preparation tool. We'll talk about data wrangler, integrated ML tools in a single interface, built-in ML ops. We'll talk about ML ops. If you are familiar with DevOps, then you will know what is ML ops. We'll talk about that and out of the box governance tool. A whole lot of things to cover. I have about how many minutes? I have about 40 minutes. I would say I'll go a little over in about 50 minutes. Okay. So Amazon SageMaker, basically, suppose so. There are three types of people, and you need to understand. There's a business analyst, there's a data scientist, and there's a machine learning engineers. So business analysts, people who really do the business analysis stuff. A lot of people I've seen, even one friend of mine, I don't know, Karthik is there. He just got some business analyst certification also. You really do all those analysis, business analysis, you know what it is. Then there are data scientists on board through Amazon SageMaker. Data scientists are the people who really develop the model. Okay. And the ML engineers and machine learning engineers who really do the So data scientists, business analysts do that. Okay, this is what I want. They give some requirement about their business requirement, analyze the business situation, give it to the data scientist. Data scientists build a model based on the business analysis requirement, and then they said, okay, I built a model. What I'm gonna do? And then because he's not like a like a cloud engineer or something, so he gives it to machine learning engineer. So machine learning, put it in a server, create the inference, connect it with all kinds of database. That's what the machine learning engineers do. And then there's something called continuous integration, continuous deployment. I'll come to that. Let's take with the decision now. Sorry, definition now. So what happened is no ML barrier. There are not. This is what this Amazon is saying. I'm not saying. There are very people. What is the barrier for machine learning? Because very few people are there, not expert. Access, process, and label of massive volumes of machine learning. Now, what happen is you have to label every data. How? What is the labeling? I'll give you an example of dog and cat. Kind of picture recognition kind of a tool. So you are showing 10,000 images of dog and 10,000 images of cat to the machine learning model, but you have to label means you have to name each machine learning, each data. Every picture is a data. Each data you have to label. This is a picture of dog, this is a picture of cat. Probably you will label it in some kind of tabular form, and all. We'll have a deep learning class, you will know it. But you have to label every data. If you don't label the data, even in any kinds of a data, all kinds of tabular data, you have to label it. Means you have to give it a name for that particular data, that information that data carries. Otherwise, machine learning won't be able to figure it out. You cannot train it. So that's a very huge daunting process. Think of it. You have a millions of data. How you going to label it? Okay, disparate data science tool, all kinds of a data science tool. So it's integrate to build ML tools in a single interface. So you have all kinds of a data science tool, all Python tool, all kinds of a platform, all you call. I'll talk to you the framework, TensorFlow, PyTorch, all kinds of a framework, all kinds of tools. There's a lot. Then how you'll get lost, how you can bring it all into one kind of a platform to really make it work. And that's what the SageMaker is all about. It's wonderful. And then tedious manual ML operation, build the ML operation, and then you automate and standardize. So this is the barrier basically, and challenge to govern. You have to monitor what you are doing it, whether there is something called data drift and other stuff. Data drift is your data is changing all the time. So when your data is changing, of course, the model behavior will change, because it is trained on some data, and then tomorrow there's a data drift. That means the data changes, your model training or changes. How you can constantly do that, constantly retrain the model, those kind of things. Okay, so uh, and so simplify the access control. So this is a basically SageMaker. So now we're talking about no code. So all the data analysts they say we don't know coding. Is there any way I can use the machine learning model? Yes, you can. And very important, lot of people there. Pay attention here. I'm going to show you how it is done. You don't need to write any code. So basically, business analyst requires a different set of tools, like a programming tools, open source tools, statistics, software engineering, data wrangling, data visualizer. These are the tools you have. So Amazon SageMaker Canvas. So basically, purpose built for preparation tool. We are going to talk about that. So there are two types of data: structured data, unstructured data. Let me show you what is before we come to that, we'll talk about it. So let me say this SageMaker Canvas. What is that SageMaker Canvas? Let me show it to you. It's all no code. So first of all, before you do that, let me show you the Amazon little bit. This is Amazon console. Uh, Basically, so it Amazon console, you can search Amazon all the services. So Amazon all this kind of a service, I don't know, more than 300 different services: compute, quantum technology, management, government, governance, security, identity, compliance, container. If you're familiar with Dockers and all those kind of a container, there's a container. Then there's storage. You see the storage, so many storage. SC, electric file system. This is very high speed, very high FSX, S3 Glacier, different kind of storage, backup. Then you have the database, RDS. Amazon has their own database, and Amazon Keyspace, DynamoDB, MemoryDB for Reddit, and then migration, transfer, networking, virtual private cloud. I'll show you what is virtual private cloud. You can build your own cloud. I already did that. Then this is so many machine learning, services it offer. Practically it is everything. So these are the all services. I don't know, probably 3, 4, 500. I don't know how many. I don't know. I don't think nobody uses everything. No company uses everything. So whatever. So this is like a supermarket where everything is on rent. Have you been to any? I mean, if you are in US, you can go. There are some stores where you can rent tools. Okay, so all the tools are there. All the tools are there. From your motor to drilling machine to hand drill to hammer, all the tools are there. Whichever you need, you just rent it, use it, come back, return it. Your credit card will be charged. If you don't return it, the full price will be charged by your credit card. So there's those kind of stores all over in US. Okay, but I don't know in other countries. So think of it that your hardware store where you can go and rent any kind of tools. Home Depot also rents a lot of those kind of tools. Home Depot, if you are familiar with Home Depot, all related to home construction, everything there. You can literally. I rented a generator also one time. I was going to some show, and then there was any electricity available daytime, so I needed to display something. So I rented a generator from Home Depot. So you can rent a generator to a small hammer. You can really rent anything from there. So think of it. All those services on Amazon cloud, everything is on rent. Whatever you need it, you just rent it. That's about it. This was all the service. So we go to the EC2. You can see this EC2. This is I just wanted to show you. This is a server, and these are the. I have some running instances. I have a lot of running instances. This is my production server basically. I have a lot of running instances. I'm not going to use it now, but let me go to the EC2 dashboard, and then if I want to launch in instances, EC2 global view. I can launch instances. I'm not going to launch it. I'm going to show you the capabilities. I said is demo, and I did it earlier also. I'm just going to show it to you. And then you see this Amazon, this are Linux Intel, Red Hat Intel, there 62 bits, and these are the different category family. And you see this, these are the server, different kind of a server. Uh, a minute, why is I hit this app? You see this different kind of memory incentive, large sidebar, then Amazon, all those machine learning chip, very large kind of a server, all kinds of a server, all kinds of from lower, almost free to high end like a Z1D metal. I don't even know all those things, but you look at this price. On demand Swiss based pricing 4 $5 per hour, and then it adds up, and you probably will have one CPU cost. And if you have like a 20, 30 different CPU to make it more powerful, and then you can create your own network, virtual private network. I have already created my own network. You can see this my own virtual private network. No, this is the security group. Network setting, you can do it here. So you can do this. This is a default network, but I have also my virtual private network called Intelligent Cloud. That's the name of my company. So inside the cloud also I have my own private network, so nobody can penetrate. There's a whole lot of security stuff. I can add as many disks. These are all, from magnetic disk to, your solid state disk. So you're building a server, your magnetic standard, then you can have a general purpose. If you know IOPS concept, with busting concept, all those things, you can have high end disk, and you can add as many as you want, as many volume. So this is the first one. You can add second one, you can add third, you can build a stack of everything. So I'm not going to do anything like that. Just wanted to show it to you. So I didn't do anything. So this is your dashboard practically. And the dashboard, the best thing, whatever you use most, it will show you. Or you can search it, or you can go from the list. So let's go to the Amazon SageMaker. Now, Amazon SageMaker is the place where you can really, one platform, you can do a whole lot of things on the machine learning. The first thing on the Amazon SageMaker is you have to set up a domain. Unless you create a domain and use a user profile, it's all because of you can have your own domain. So if you are in a company, and you can create as many domain as you want, and every department has their own domain, and they're doing their own machine learning stuff, their data scientist is doing, and so you can keep the work separate. Basically, that's the idea. And also there's for a whole lot of security and those kind of stuff. So you create a domain. I already created it, but when you create a domain, it will ask you a whole lot of setup, and I'm not going to do that. I already created last night. I went to bed, after completing this. So I really slept like a 3-4 hours practically, because I said no, I have to show them the demo in the morning, and then because this takes a little time and I don't want to do anything on the fly. So I set it up. But I just wanted to show you. So now what will happen is this takes even it. So this is my own domain. So you can see this is my own domain. Now two three things happening. Okay, now there is, let's go to the Amazon uh, studio and the studio lab. Okay, what is the studio lab? We'll talk about this. It's a you can quickly create data analytics, scientific computing, machine learning. We'll talk about this. Forget about it now. So now studio. Let's come to the studio, and then you said uh, once you have the Amazon Studio, you can do whole lot of things, data wrangler stuff and all. I think it's a user profile. Is there create a user profile? Why it's asking me? Huh. Yeah, so it's already is creating a user profile based on my default. This is my Amazon SageMaker execution role, and there's some role, all those identity access management. This is a little cloud computing stuff. I'll not. So basically, role means you are giving permission, because Amazon, every little thing you do on cloud computing, whether it's Amazon, it's Google, doesn't matter. Okay. Every little thing you do cloud, because it's a public place, right? People are renting. So when people are renting a lot of stuff, there's whole lot of security there. Whole lot of security. Okay. So because you are renting a server, basically that's a virtual server, and that is being shared by others. Okay, you are renting, it's a public place. All kinds of weird things happen. There's all kinds of crazy hacker out there who will just steal all your data. Suppose you are running a company, an e-commerce company, and everything, all your credit card data, all the information there. If it gets, some hacker in some country, and then that guy gets all your data, he's going to put you in jail, because all the credit card is stolen. He taken out all the money. The first thing the police will come and catch you later on, probably in the court, after spending several $1,000. You're innocent that it has been hacked, but you have already gone through out of business, basically. Okay. So those kind of hacker things happening. So that's what every little thing, even if you use a single little bit of storage there, you have to have a permission. Without permission, nothing happens. That permission, also set up permission called identity access management. Identity access management means the philosophy is provide least privilege access. That means A manager, you think of it, a bank manager. If a bank manager has access to a lot of information, the clerk at the bank doesn't have it, because bank manager even can do a lot of things, and that can have access to the data. The lower level staff, they don't have, because they are limited. There's a privilege there. Even the bank manager has certain level of access. The regional manager, who's the top boss of the several region of the branches, has a more privilege, and then up to the CEO has all the privilege. So it's all privilege, hierarchical structure. Here in the security, you will have to have a privilege structure. You just cannot give access to everybody to anything. Okay. The concept is called identity access management. It's a whole concept that its concept itself, if I want to teach you, it will take at least 5 days. Trust me. So much is there. But what I'm saying is, so you define even machine needs permission. He said, wait, okay a minute. I'm using Amazon SageMaker, and I'm just using Amazon SageMaker with Amazon storage. Why SageMaker needs permission? Why machine? That's a machine, right? That's not a human. Okay, it's inside happening. Because if somebody hacks your SageMaker, and he through that he hacks your storage where all your information, important data and everything reside. So even you have to give a permission to the machine to use certain things. So here, create a role. So you are creating a role, Amazon SageMaker execution role. So when you are creating it, basically it is giving a permission. It's a lot of defined there. You don't have to do much, but you have to do really set up all the role. You can customize the role. That's the idea basically. So it's already created a role for me. It's creating this thing, and then I create it, and I go to the next, and then SageMaker project. The next, I did something wrong. What I did wrong? Okay, now you can also add tag. Tag means tagging is a very important. Suppose we are running lots of resources, services, every services you can add tag, and then for your governance and monitoring purpose you can do that. Okay. 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 Canvas based permission canvas. So I'm getting it. I'm submitting it. It is going to create a canvas. It will take like a user profile successfully created, and then it will really this already created. If you go to the canvas details, you don't see much. Then you go to the canvas, and then user profile created. Then you open the canvas, because now Amazon, first you have to have a domain for the SageMaker. Why you have to have a domain? Because every department will have their own working space. A domain means your own working space. Within your own working space, you are doing stuff. You are using SageMaker so that others cannot see it for security purpose, or you want to keep things separate for your own department. Within the department, probably there will be several groups will be using Amazon SageMaker for different kind of a purpose. You can even have a one central place where you can manage everything, but you can also isolate your work. That's the idea to create domain. Okay, now you open your canvas. So once you open your canvas, within your first you have to set your profile within the profile. So this gonna take like it says is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes, probably a little more. Let's not waste time. Let's go to our presentation and we'll come back. It's taking and we'll do the demo. Okay. So there are two types of data: structured data, like a database, Oracle database, SQL database. These are all structured. Even your Excel spreadsheet is a structured in a tabular form. There are columns and rows, and there are all structured data. Like articles or any kind of unstructured data. They are not in a structural form like articles or PDF, or we saw those research paper, or anything that is not in a tabular form. That's unstructured data. All kinds of weird data. Okay, vector database is really based on unstructured data, and it's huge thing. So people who are interested in really getting, because I have lots of requirement for MongoDB for vector database, and this will be all managed on the Amazon. Basically, the MongoDB and Amazon, they are partner, and they are really pushing it to the next level. That's what I was told. So there's a whole lot of things we can do using MongoDB Atlas, which is the vector database, and then Amazon. Uh, AWS Generative AI and SageMaker tool, and there will be a lot of projects. Actually, there are lots of projects. So if there are small companies who are interested, outside this whole thing, can contact us. We are building that ecosystem, but before you contact us, first we'll have to go through the due diligence, what you are really capable of, and those all should be verifiable due diligence. So there's no way, if you pass through the due diligence, then only you could be part of the ecosystem we are trying to build. You see, this is official presentation, so there has to be some vetting process. Okay, so Amazon SageMaker data wrangler. Now I tell you this is I'm going to teach you also, show you radar. Now I tell you this, and I think who said this? Oh, Professor Andrew Nguyen, a famous Stanford professor, is very machine learning, one of the top machine learners, expert in the world. Uh, so he said this. I read it somewhere. I don't know where. He said this. Uh, uh, 90% of the machine learning task is cleaning the data. Okay. If you see, the concept is garbage in, garbage out. If your data has lots of garbage, the output will be garbage only. Okay. You have to clean data. There could be lots of problem within a data, even if it is a tabular form. I'll give you an example. Mm, say, cell phone. The cell phone company, every time you make a phone call, and then it generates lots of data. You cannot see it, cell phone company, they see it. Your call data record, your all kinds of a data record. In that also your location, other. In that also there are lots of garbage data. If you want to analyze the call record of, say, your all the customers in your city, like a San Jose, and what's the population of San Jose? I think, I don't know, 6 million or something, right? 6 or 7 million, something like that. Okay, so it's that 6 million population data, and probably you have the biggest market share in the 50%. So everybody has a cell phone. So you are looking at a 3 million data, and lots of garbage data is there. You just, like a frequency rate, this, that, you just don't need it to analyze the customer's behavior. So you have to clean it, you have to take the garbage data out. Even some of the data are useful, like a credit card data, but the way the data is recorded, because all the credit card company, you transaction, then transaction is done through API, application programming interface. You already did the hands-on course with me on the prompt engineering, how to handle the API. Similar, people who are from the software background, the application programming interface. So you are taking the third-party data. With the third-party data, lot of formats, the third party formats don't match with your data format. So you'll have to reformatting it. So you have to clean it. These are all cleaning of the data, and that. So there's a whole lot of process in there, and it takes whole lot of time. Amazon made it very easier with their tool called data wrangling tool. You don't have to write code or anything. So you have to clean that data. Otherwise, there are data cleaning process. Most of the time, you have to write code to do that. There are a whole lot of other tools available here. This data wrangler is a tool. You can use this data wrangler. I have a recording of the how I clean that data wrangler tool. I will put it up on the YouTube, and I'll share that with you. It's a 30 minutes recording. You will see it. I cannot show you everything. This I did, I think, like a 6 months ago or sometime. I was showing something, some kind of a online, workshop there. I used that. So you'll see it what you'll see it what I was doing. So, and then the Amazon SageMaker has a feature store, consistent features, sharing and collaboration, milestone latency. So feature store is, if you are familiar with deep learning, so your data should have some kind of a feature. I'll give you an example of feature. There's something called feature engineering in deep learning. So every data representative represents certain characteristic of the whole. It represents certain feature. Suppose you show a dog a picture to the your machine learning model, deep learning model. A dog has ears, dog has eyes, dog has a nose, dog has hair, and so. But the dog sees the picture based on the feature. Ears has a different feature, eyes have different feature, nose has different feature, tongue has a different feature. So all those little is segmented, and it divided or it segmented in a such a way that this particular data represent a feature. That's called feature engineering, very important in deep learning. So if you have eyes, and then eyes had certain characteristics in terms of a data, in terms of when you convert into some kind of zeros and one, and that eyes has a feature, and that feature when it turns it goes when it sees like a 50,000 dogs, and it immediately it does what it does. It segment every feature, and then the eyes is a feature, and then it try to match that same feature with other eyes of all that 50,000 dogs eyes. And then so that's called feature engineering, very important, very complex stuff. In that feature engineering, you do all those things and you develop the feature, and that's what you learn. The machine learning learn the pattern. You remember machine learning on the pattern, all the feature engineering. So every feature has a different pattern, and then from various types of data you segmented it as a feature wise, it makes sense. So there's something called consistent feature. SageMaker has a feature store, very important. So a lot of things we are automating basically. Instead of writing code for feature engineering, it can do it. It can really detect some features the way you want it from your data. So that's called feature store. Very, very important. That's the reason it's so easy on Amazon. Okay. So aerial and satellite imagery, you can really image, and geospatial data, you can really take those kind of a data. These are all unstructured data, by the way. Now you understand what is unstructured data. And then aerial and satellite imagery, then the mapping data, you have the all kinds of mapping data. Uh, then this is all done automatically by, you have to show the image. Then geospatial, Amazon SageMaker has that build, train, and deploy machine learning model using geospatial data. So it's already have those kind of model already pre-built. A lot of things, a lot of tools are pre-built. You have to customize a lot, but a lot of things. So the best part of the Amazon AI/ML is everything is pre-built. You don't have to build any model. You can do it. You can do it. There's also flexibility there. But most of the thing is everything is pre-built. But you really need to have the knowledge to customize it, because pre-built means pre-built. It's like like just the platform is there. But that doesn't mean like means it will work for you. Every use case, even within your own company, the same model, the same pre-built infrastructure may not work for different department, or even within the same department may not work for different group, because every group is doing something else. You have to customize as per your needs. So that's about it. So then SageMaker ground truth. There's something called ground truth. Okay, ground truth is something very important. You pay attention. What is that? Is labels your data. As I said it. Suppose I'll give you an example. Mm, uh, you want to detect a terrorist in a football, uh, you know, in a very packed football stadium, and you are the security guy, you are the police, and department, and a detective, and they are watching on the camera and see if there's any, they can find any guy who could be a terrorist, a potential threat for something, who is a troublemaker. How you are going to do that? So first of all, there are 50,000 faces. So 50,000 faces, you have to label data. Every face has a level. Okay, so how you can do it? You connect that and connect with that all those faces it recognizes, and try to level it with that this is a male face, the female face, wearing a hat, is not wearing a hat, is really wearing a glass, has beard, no beard, all kinds of things. So basically, you're categorizing the data, and each data you need to label it, you need to name it. It's a nightmare for those kind of operation. It's nightmare. And if you have to do it in advance, all those labeling, so that when you see the new picture, it compares with the labeling data, goes through the feature engineering, so those kind of things. That labeling is very expensive. There are third-party companies also that does labeling of your data. Think of, you are a manufacturer, okay, and you are really using machine learning to find the default parts. And you, in the manufacturing, you know there are like a 10,000 different parts, small ball bearing to washer to, what are the different screw, spring, all kinds of stuff. So we have to label each data. Okay, this is a spring. Even the spring, there could be 200 different category spring. This is a, this is a very long spring, short spring, some high tensile spring, some kind of all kinds of different categories of spring, depends on length, dimension, characteristics, okay, those kind of stuff. So you have to label each spring, and so that when the data is shown to the machine learning understand, learns everything based on the level. It's a nightmare basically. There are companies that does that, third party companies. Okay, if you want to start a labeling company, have some knowledge, set it up, and I can help you that. Amazon is really need those kind of companies. Okay, you can set up a small team who just do level. Lots of level is done it automatically, but there's a manual process also. So there is something called, so you can have the data labelers access, reduce data labeling cost with assistive labeling feature, improve operational efficiency, increase the data quality through labeling. So this is all the important. This all can be done automatically. Okay, so and then you see this, then you create the data, then you do the training and tuning, you train the data, and then you have to really train the data. We already covered how trained is data, distributing training libraries with data modeling. Then you find the best version of your model, automatic high parameter optimization. I won't tell you all those things, hyper parameters. I'll talk to you in our deep learning class. Okay, so and then with the data and model parallel libraries, you can build all kinds of a train, and then you can build a model. And this is the best part of it, because if you have the model, and sometimes the model is very big and you need to train it, you can really split the model, and parallelly you can train it and assemble it. So big model, because it's so big, and like it trains like it takes like a days or weeks to train it, because it goes through millions of data. So all those, and because so you can split the model into a separate segment. Each model, part of the model does some kind of a training, and you can assemble, and then it gets trained. That kind of a train the model is a data model, parallel libraries, complete distribution training 40% faster, those kind of stuff. Then hyper parameter tuning, optimization, that's a different concept. Don't even, this is part of the machine learning process. I don't want to spend time on that. Okay, then distribution and training libraries, data model, parallel libraries, we already covered that. And then deployment. This is very important, because you need to deploy, is that you need to build your inference. As I said, you have to have the basically inference, the endpoint. Then suppose if it is the inference need to be load balanced, because more data coming, more, suppose if you are Walmart or Amazon, and think of Black Friday in US. Okay, people who do not know the Black Friday, the Thanksgiving evening, they just before the uh, uh, Friday, the official Christmas, uh, Christmas, shopping starts just the day after the Thanksgiving, which is the Thursday. I think 31st of October. I don't remember what. I think, yeah. And so So that the first day of Christmas shopping season start, and all the store all over the US give discount, huge discount, and people stand in the line for all night long, so that the Friday morning it opens and then they get the best discount. Now they are doing online. So Black Friday, people log into Amazon, log into Walmart, and try to get the best deal. Mostly it's electronics, but other deals also. Think of it, what happened in 4 or 5 hours, the server load really becomes huge, like a 50 million, 60 million people logging into the Amazon website or Walmart website at the same time. What kind of a load? It could be huge load. When that kind of a happen, you all your inference endpoint needs to scale. Otherwise, it cannot take all the machine learning model will not work. So there is something called load balancing, and it scales. It spins up new server. This kind of stuff it's talking about, and very cost effective way this deploy model. And then and there is the shadow testing. You can do the shadow testing. The name itself says what it is do. Automatic deployment recommendation. Okay, you can really automatically deploy. There's something called continuous integration, continuous deployment. This is a DevOps concept. DevOps is called earlier days, like 30 years ago, there used to be a coder will develop something, and they'll give it to the operation guy because there was no cloud anything, they'll put it on a server, make it work. So they don't talk to each other, they are enemies, like a thing. And then all of a sudden people say, no, it's really killing time. So let's do one thing, let's merge the operation guy and the development guy and create a one group, and everybody knows what is doing. Let them talk, let them be friends instead of enemies. Lots of political office inter-department rivalry was there. I've seen it, I've witnessed it myself. Okay, so now dev guys and development guys and operation guys are now friends. Now they talk to each other, and when they talk to each other, they understand each other points. So merge is called DevOps. So, and then they come with a concept called continuous deployment, continuous integration. Code change all the time. They write code, they change it, and then deploy it all the time. There's something called Jenkins, automation CI/CD pipeline. If you have used it, you know what it is. It's all done automatically. Similarly, like a DevOps, there's something called MLOps, machine learning operation. So it's like a machine learning plus operation. So that kind, same like a development, instead of development, substitute that word. Of course, machine learning also kind of a development. It's MLOps. So on the ML ops, so all the CI/CD pipeline come into place. You deploy the model. There's some automation tools, all kinds of stuff. You can do it. Okay. So learn and experience with machine learning. Amazon SageMaker Studio Lab there's something called Studio Lab. I wanted to show you. I'll show you. Let's see if it is ready or not. And then SageMaker Jumpstart. There's already pre-built model. You can start. I'll show you that. And bear with me. I will. There's almost time, but bear with me for 10-15 minutes. I'll have to show a lot of stuff. I'm just finishing my presentation. Then you'll see it. So you can. It's a foundation for models and pre-built ML solution. As I said, you don't have to do anything. Jumpstart is jumpstart. Okay. Okay. Like in a car, your battery goes down, you have the jump cable, and another, friend's car come, and then they will, with the jump cable, with their battery, you connected your battery, and the car cranks, basically. Okay. So your car gets started. So like a jump cable, similarly, that kind of a jump start is already there. Okay. All you have to do is just get started it, put your data, connect your data with the model. You have to do a little bit of customization, sometimes a whole lot of customization, and it will work. So you don't have to build any model, it's already there. That's called Amazon Jumpstart. I'll show you what it is. And then your ML ops, we already talk about ML ops, machine learning ML ops capabilities. So manual iterative process, slow down ML innovation. So all those ML ops, you can do it manually. A lot of people do it. Okay, but you can really automate that process, all automation. Difficult to scale the number of models in production. And it's all done CI/CD, as I mentioned, continuous improvement, continuous deployment, because you are continuously change. Because why continuously improvement, continuously continuous integration, continuous deployment? Because there's a data drift. I told you, talk to you data drift, right? Data are still old data, new data are coming. Some data are old. Okay, lot of things coming like Black Friday, evening. Lots of new days are coming that is only useful for that Black Friday. After the Black Friday on Saturday, they're not useful. Probably they will be useful next year. Probably you can archive that data for your analysis purpose for next year. You don't need it on Saturday. So, but because of that, your new data came, everything changed. So there's a data drift. There's a model drift also, because your model has some kind of a capacity, is doing some function, and now we are giving it more, add more function to it, or you are modifying the model. So there's a model drift also. So it's always continuous process. It's always continuous process. Okay, that's called continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay, makes sense. And that is called ML ops. Okay, it's all done automatically. You don't do it manually. I tell you this: everything is automated. Automation. People who are doing manual software engineering, either upgrade your skill, or if you have some money saving, do something else. Software career is over for you, absolutely over. Let me be very blunt on this. I want to warn you. At the same time, I want to encourage you. If you are writing code, all this manual process is over. You will see huge amount of layoff is already started in the US. It will go to all over the world, and it will also come to India. Don't think you are safe. Okay, okay, because nowadays you are doing a lot of things automation. This all is to all those ML guy, DevOps guys. They used to do manually. It's gone. Everything is automated. The more automation is coming in every areas: retail, software programming, manufacturing, everything. Okay, everything will be automated. So there will be 300 jobs will not be eliminated. Again said, there will be 300 job loss, but those 300 job loss will be replaced by AI kind of people who can use AI tools, or you can use AI. But there will be net gain around 100 million jobs. So 300 million jobs will be replaced by 400 million jobs. So 100 million net job gain. That's a good news. But if you don't upgrade yourself, if you think you have become so smart that you now know everything, thank you very much, sir. If you are in US, still you can get some kind of EDD, that for also for a year or so, unemployment benefit. And if you are old enough, probably you might get some social security benefit. That's about it. Even in other countries, I don't know. Good luck. Okay. This is a warning. At the same time, this is an encouragement. We created this because of that. That's 400 million job, 100 million net gain of the job. Indian engineers without borders will fill most of this net great job, and also replace, whatever the replace. We are creating that ecosystem of learners, practitioners, small business owner, large business owner, large companies, and also the startup companies. That ecosystem we are building fast. Help us. You be part of the ecosystem. Everybody wins. Everybody wins basically. Okay, so that's about that I wanted to tell you. So then, as I said, that compliance, and then there will be some governance, automated ML workflow, machine learning ML ops. I already talk about it. This is some kind of, this is something called avalanche process. It's a data, and how this avalanche process get trained, then evaluated. After training, you have to evaluate whether it is really working or not, and then you have to, this you have to continue with that. You have to create the model, you have to transform it, all kinds of process. This is the basically some kind of a flow chart, and this is all done by SageMaker automatically. Okay, so these are the code. This is a easy Python code. Don't get scared or something like that. You can do it. It's pulling some process, something from the S3. You can see it, S3 data, and then there's some process here. Easy stuff, good stuff. If you know Python, you can do it. Okay, and then it's importing some libraries, training input or all those things, training step. So it's importing some libraries. We already saw how to import libraries in our prompt engineering class. You know that. So this is a key step basically. If you know Python, that's not a biggie. Okay, so this is then SageMaker MLOps we talked about. Then the last one is we call about governance, because the ML governance, you really have to who have the permission, all kinds of security measures, because you have to govern, right? You have to governance. Software engineering, network, machine learning, cloud computing, governance is a good thing. So it's not a political governance, it's your internal governance. Who is responsible for what? Your security governance, your managerial governance has to be built in. So this is all done automatically. You build, and then you onboard, you build, and then you train your model, and then you deploy it, and then you monitor it. This is all part of the governance. How the whole life cycle. This is the entire pipeline, whole life cycle. All this is done by SageMaker, automatic process, and so that's about it. I think that is the presentation. Let's see if I can show you some quick demo how the. So yeah, this is, you see, this is the canvas started. Now this is the data timeline. Let's see, prepare and analyze data. I'll go a little over. So this is my data. So I'm just giving it a name. Now I don't have a data, so there's some sample data available. I'll use some sample data. So select existing data set. You can import your data. How you can import it? You can import your tabular data. You can see this, or images. You can also image also part of data basically for machine learning this thing. Because if they see, if the model says like a 10,000 cats and 10,000 dog images, these are actually part of data. We'll show you in the deep learning class. Or tabular data or data set type, you can do that. Or you can import it and from your wherever. I'm not going. You can bring your own data, and then but I'm using my there's some sample data. So I'm just using it. This sample canvas loan, some kind of a canvas loan. I was doing some housing price yesterday. Let's do loan data. Okay, so how many records are there? There are 1,000 rows, 19,000 cells. It created yesterday, all created yesterday. I add the data set. Once I add the data set, you can see this. This is all automated process. So it's taking a little time because it's pulling the sample data. Okay, explore the visual representation. It's showing me yes, you can explore it, but I'm not doing it. Okay, so this is the data, and now this is you can really see it, loan ID and how many things. It's a visual representation of this. The source is S3. S3 is Amazon storage, object storage where it is data is there, and then it will table. This is a sample data. You can see the data type, and into what kind of a data is it. This is a data type. What is float, string, how many is the string data, float data. If you know what is string, float, you understand what is this. And then you can create your own model. You can exploit this data. You can analyze it, and you can analyze this data. And then before we do that, let's go to the data wrangler. You have to clean that data, right? So you go here. This is all sample data, and data types. This is the source. You can canvas data source. This is the source. You can change the source also, and then data types. Okay, this is the data transfer canvas sample load part 1c, and then you can see this chat for data preparation, add transform. Now you can transform the data, you can add analysis, you can get data insight. Let's do data insight. So this is giving you data insight basically, what kind of a data it is. You can analyze them. This is all it is actually in a data. If you are a data scientist, this is a nightmare if you don't want to do this kind of a data wrangler is there. I'm doing it in second, but you can really do it. And then from the data wrangler, and then you can do analysis, and then you can come to the data wrangler again, and then you come here, it will give you this, and then I did this. I'm going to do the data add transform. Now we are transforming a data. That means there's a lot of cleaning needs to done, and then after cleaning you just transforming. I'm not showing it. You can add steps. You can add what kind of a custom formula. You can add your own custom formula. You can custom transform. Let's say custom transform, and then table is available. You can write this. This is a Spark Python pandas. If you are familiar with pandas library, Python, basically all the libraries, NumPy, pandas. I'll cover this in our advanced Python class. Then you can also have a user depends, let's say panda. Then using pandas requires a data set to fit in the memory. There's some the memory problem, but anyway. So you can do this. I'm not showing it to you. Then you can show the steps. People, this is your custom transform. You can transform the literally the transform data. I'm not doing it now. Then I'm going here, I'm just going to show you what are the things you can do, and then you can concatenate, you can join, basically concatenate, but you can add something, concat something, join something. Then you can say data types, you can do this, you run the validation test, and this is your data flow auto validation, and it will do all the auto validation. You can do something with the data. You can clean that. These are all data cleaning process, so it can be done. And this is the, because it's a sample, so it has very limited features. So you cannot show all those things, but you can source the data. You can get another data, and then it's a concatenate, concatenate, what I'm saying. I've been working since morning, excuse me. So you have this let input, you can write input, you can concatenate the data set, like that kind of stuff. I'm not doing it now because it will take time and you'll get lost in the process. I'm just showing you the capabilities. So you can select data sets, you can build a model, you can create a new model, you can let's create a new model, say predictive analytic model. I'm just creating it. You can build your new model. This is, you can go and customize it. I use this select data set, some kind of a sample data. I use it. Okay, you see this, and this is some kind of a model it created. Then I can analyze it and build a model. Before you view result, you can view the result, and you can analyze it. Then you can predict it. With this model you can predict it, then you can deploy it. Basically you can really deploy it. It's so easy. So this is a part of this. Then you have the ML ops. I told you that this is a configuration basically, but your deployment you can do, as I told you, right? Continuous integration, continuous pipeline. You can build your ML op. You can ready to use this model. These are all this thing. You can use all those things on a then you can share your model. This is a part of the canvas. So this is all about canvas. I will come to the SageMaker other one. This is our, then you have the SageMaker studio. You open a studio. Let's see if it opens immediately. If it doesn't open, then we are in trouble. I should have opened it also. It takes a little time to open the studio. Yeah, so this is a SageMaker studio. You remember we created a Jupyter this thing notebook. Here also you can create a Jupyter, same with a Jupyter notebook. This might take a little time. Okay, let's do it. What's the heck? I'll kill it anyway. And then you can quick start guide. You can create your own Jupyter notebook here, and then Jupyter lab. Just like a collab, you can have your Jupyter lab. Why is not doing it? I don't know. There's something, but let's not do it. But I'll show you what it is. Then there is a canvas here. As I said, the same kind of a canvas. You can do it here. I already created a canvas last night, and let me open it. and you can use all those things, generate machine learning, practical decisions, SageMaker, Canvas, very open thing. Let's open the Canvas. Whatever I did, basically, I created, it's already there. The Canvas is opening. This is within the SageMaker. I created separately, but you see this, the same, the Canvas I created. So you have this on that. So I created it separately, same stuff. I just showed it to you. And mm, uh, then also you can do it from here, data. You can, data wrangler. You see this, you can create in data wrangler, open in Canvas. And also you can do some kind of a SageMaker studio, and also art studio. If you these are all application, but there are other ways you can do it. And then what else? And also this is the Jupyter notebook, data wrangler, feature store. We talked about feature store, right? Feature engineering. With this is all the feature store. You can create your own feature using automated tool called feature store, and you can do that. It's all about part of the feature engineering. You can create your own feature catalog, as I said. Eyes of the dog, ear of the dog, nose of the dog, hair of the dog, color of the hair. Those kind of feature catalog you can build. And then EMR cluster, electric map reduce, if you're familiar with this. I'll cover in some advanced class. It's all big data stuff. EMR, electric map reduce. People who are familiar with map reduce, you can do the cluster. I'm not doing it. I can create it from here. I'm not creating it, but it's already created, clustered per page. It's already created. I think I can terminate it, but I just, so these are the basically all kinds of things. And then you can have your jumpstart. There's something called jumpstart. As I said, you can jump it, you can pre-build. These are all pre-built model. You have to plug in your data, it will be there. You can see this with the jumpstart. You can run TensorFlow. If you are familiar with the basically the framework, deep learning framework. There are three important deep learning framework. Most important one is TensorFlow. And if you become a certified TensorFlow guy, you have a job for you. Okay, it's very difficult to. It's a Google, some kind of a Google, administrator exam. It's called TensorFlow certification. So far, I know as of last year, there are like less than 2,000 certified TensorFlow. Very hard, but if you become certified TensorFlow, all the deep learning you really need to understand. Probably I'll start some course on TensorFlow certification. First, I have to get myself a certification. I prepared it. I wanted to take the test. So many things are happening. Probably sometimes this year I'll do it. But then, yeah, PyTorch is also another framework. It's very important. That's also popular. The most popular one is TensorFlow. You can use your own other stuff. And there's something called Hugging Face. Yes, Hugging Face, if you're familiar with, explored hundreds of popular trending models from the Hugging Face. Hugging Face also has a lot of pre-defined model. So you don't need to, and there that you can use it. I use Hugging Face a lot for my Hugging Face. And the best way to get a job is Hangout. I'll show you Hugging Face. I'm going to show it to you. The best way to get a job is go and sign up with Hugging Face. There are lots of data set. And there are lots of model. There's a tutorial. You learn a whole lot of things, and then you build your community. We should build a community on Hugging Face also. Indian Engineers Without Borders. So build your community. People know who you are, and there are solutions. There are some contests. There are all kinds of stuff. The best way to get a job in deep learning is to come and work on Hugging Face. Most of the time is free. Even companies use Hugging Face for different kind of, mostly experimentation, all those kind of things. There are lots of model data sets. So for any kind of a learning, deep learning, you have to have lots of data to feed it to the model. And however you can get all those data. So there's a different kind of a model data. These are actual data basically, but it's available for you. You can come. So if I need any kind of a data, I can come here and I can use Hugging Face and those kind of stuff. So that Hugging Face kind of a model is available here. You see this. So instead of going outside and doing everything, basically it's here, Hugging Face. So this, and then the last two things I would like to. So you saw this jump start, and there's one more thing before I complete. There's something called, what is that? The free thing. Where is that free? And then there's also AWS Marketplace. You can buy models, rent models from other places. And there's one, what is called? There's some free stuff available uh, for everybody. What is called? Their language, I forgot even name of that. But what is that called? Free thing? Here, this is, I don't know. I forgot the name. But there's some free, just like a Google Collab, you can run your all products. Let's see. This is a figure. I don't know where it is. I forgot. But there's some free place where you can learn with all the data and everything. I wanted to show you. I mean, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of that because I don't use free stuff. But some like a Google Collab, you can create your own notebook and a notebook repository, notebook instance. You can create it, training, uh, high parameter tuning, you can see algorithm training, inferences we talk about. Never I learned a mistake. I was showing some demo about 6 months ago. I created some inferences and I forgot to delete it. Whenever you try something, delete it. You will be billed like crazy. You know what? And then I was going through some, I was busy with so many things, I never bothered to check up. I was slapped with $3,000 bill, $3,000 for doing nothing. Then I had to write because I'm a community builder. I had some special privilege access. I approached them after several emails talking to them. I said, no, I was doing some demo. It's for Amazon only. And then they saw everything. They saw the track. I had to send them the video recording. Luckily, I had that. I had to justify why I didn't notice for 2 months. So all kinds of things. And then they waived that $3,000 fee. So it happened with me. And I got saved. They waived it because they understood that I was showing demo for Amazon only, like I'm showing it for their own, community building. And so they waived me. But for you, you're not a community builder or you just group organizer, $100 or $200 they might say okay wave. But if it is goes like a 2000 $3000, probably they might give you a little discount on the this thing, but you have to pay at least over 70-80% of it. Probably that's okay, giving the consideration we lower 80% of 20% of the bill. That kind of things happen. So always remember, if you come try whatever you do, like after this demo session I'm going to delete everything, okay, so that I'm not billed. And there's another way to set up a budget alert and all, so that's like a cloud computing. So having said that, that's about it. Thanks for coming today. We really gone more than what I mean. See, these are all so heavy stuff. I need to do justice to teach you everything. I cannot just packed everything, full of information in less than 2 hours. Basically, we lose about 10-15 minutes in the waiting for people to join. So it is always useful if you join in time so that we can start early. And then some kind of introduction I'll have to give for every lecture, and that's the reason. So we usually lose about 20 minutes of time every day. So practically, I'm end up with 1 hour 40 minutes and as a 7 minutes break. So basically, one hour, practically 1.5 hours. So much information in 1.5 hours is really, it's a torture for you and me also. So we really go a little bit extra time, but it always happens and it will always happen. So bear with us. Always come with like it might go 20-30 minutes extra. Come with that kind of a mind. Always be prepared with that kind of a mindset. Okay. It's good for everybody. We're trying to teach you stuff. All right. Now, having said that, I said you learned a lot. Today you learn the how the generative AI work, and then you like the entire pipeline, the entire life cycle process of a machine learning, from analysis to model building to data cleaning to ML ops, the continuous integration and pipeline to deployment to scale up the inference, and then to governance, everything you govern. And also in that, what are the security feature you do. You also saw some of the network. I showed you the virtual private network, all the different kind of a server, pretty much a lot of stuff. Okay, so that's about it. Having said that, I just wanted to, if you have any questions, please ask me. I can, or we can call it a day. And it's little late in India also. I don't know how much, what is the time now. But thanks for waiting, and thanks for, for coming here. All right, so I'll stop the recording.